Happy Monday, beautiful people. Hope all is well with you. Sorry we're a little tardy to the party, but we got a lot to get into all before everything begins again tonight. It is yet another week of wrestling talk here live, and I am your host, Wrestling with Honey, and we are going to get into it right now. Let's get it popping, everybody.
Thanks for joining.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What is up? Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to our WWT Live post show as part of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's network on the Women's Wrestling Network on the planet. I am your hostess, the Busy Bee, the QB of WWT, the sweetest oos, Wrestling with Honey, and I am so happy and excited to be here because there is so much to unpack and uncover. So much happened this weekend. It was Baja Bash in the Bahamas with All Caribbean Wrestling. We had Forbidden Door and Ring of Honor and TNA and SmackDown and Pride Weekend. It's just been a weekend of festivities, and we are pretty hungover from it all, I would say. But I'm not alone. I am not alone. You know, I never come alone. When one arrives, there's the others are not too far behind, and I have the one half of the digital entertainment tag team champions. The Councilman PHAROAH is in the building. What is up, champ? What is up?
My body hurt. Oh my god, and it's so loud in here. So much happened. So much happened. This is how you know a lot happened. Honey called this the post show. This is what do we what just went off? What just went
Post weekend.
She said welcome. She said welcome to the post show. That's like, wait, what else came on I missed? Wait a minute.
Yes. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. And I apologize ahead of time. And I hope the boss lady doesn't kill us, but we do not have slides for this evening. We're just going to get right into the chat. We're running a little late as it is. Shout out to everybody already in the house. Eric, happy Monday to you, sir. Or should I say Money in the Bank week to all of you. And celebrated your birthday with a new Joe Hendry shirt. Well, we believe in Joe Hendry and we believe in you, Mr. Isaac. So happy to have you, and happy belated birthday again. Our producer from the future, Dylan Matthews, is in the house. Always a pleasure, sir. Oh, all right, Councilman. All right. There's some things that we do need to cover, but is there any words that you have for anything that you might have seen that has transpired over the weekend?
Man, it was a crazy weekend. I don't even have just one word to accumulate all this stuff, man. Just why did everything happen Sunday? Like it was gay parades everywhere. It was Forbidden Door. The BET Awards was out here. House of the Dragon came out, and they didn't let up on anything. My Adventures with Superman, the new Suicide Squad animated drop. Like I have not really been asleep. I'm not, we getting ready for this court case with Lola Vice too. Just we've been working.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you took it there, because let's just get into those stories now. We might as well just get it rolling. There's a tweet that has surfaced, or has not surfaced, that was made by Roxanne Perez over the weekend, and this is what she claims to have said. Just because I don't shake my ass and scream I'm a Latina in every match does not mean I'm not proud of my culture. You don't know me one bit. ¿Quieres español, pendeja? I'll translate what you'll be hearing at Heatwave. Y todavía la campeona. Roxanne Perez. So she had some words for Lola Vice on the Twitter on the Twitter world, in the Twitter universe, to Lola Vice, and I guess there was some exchange between the two of them, and that was Roxanne's response. Councilman, knowing how we fare about this beef between these two lovely Latinas, how do you feel about this statement being made by Roxanne. And is this on its way to becoming a much spicier rivalry?
Yes to that, and also too, I might get my client might fire me because I actually forgot Roxanne is Latina.
Well, hello, Perez.
And from San Antonio,
Perez.
Texas. I don't know, just
you really are tired from this weekend.
I am. But Sue, you know what it is though too. I think that brings up a great point with something that I also saw happen at the BET Awards. Roxanne is right in a way, not to discredit Lola Vice and everything like that, but I think that all of us in all of our ethnic backgrounds, we all of us are different. It's not just a general thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you do got Lola, who's a spicy Latin, Latina that has the moves, can kick your ass. Yes, she has the full package. But the same thing as Roxanne Perez, she is if you wanted to put someone's face from a San Antonio, Texas Latina, it's that. And it's something that even like Donald Glover said on the BET Awards. He made a comment that said, I have more Grammys than Will Smith, but I have the same amount of BET Awards as Sam Smith. And so, but it comes to a point where sometimes that I think we do get lost in trying to generalize our culture, and we forget that it's a diversity within all of us.
There's different variations of them, and this was in response to I just found the tweet. This is in response to Lola Vice's tweet where she said, "Better Latina, you've never been proud of your own culture." But LOL, but that gives me a great idea. On Tuesday at our face-off, let's only speak to each other in Spanish, and I can't wait to see you shit yourself on live television. Dylan, here is a translation. What she was basically asking, ¿Quieres español, pendeja? She's like, bitch, you speak Spanish, right? Basically. Not that I like using the word that way, but that's basically what she was getting at. But shout outs to yes, God bless Britt Baker. We're gonna get into it, Dylan, for sure. Shout outs to everybody in the chat coming on in. Matt Spano, always a pleasure, dear. Bobby, hello, sir.
Hello, Bobby.
Good to see you. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining. But yeah, so it was in response to that, and I guess we're gonna be seeing a Spanish speaking exchange on NXT TV, which I think is really spicy and interesting. Another thing that was really interesting was a tweet that was made by Madam Lash Legend. And Madam Lash Legend feels, forget all of this spiciness. There's literally no reason why I shouldn't at least be the number one contender for a title right now. And she had tweeted the general manager, Ava, and said, let's talk. Councilman, what do you see for the future of Lash Legend, and will Ava answer the request?
I see yes, and I see her answering where you should be, which is not the NXT Women's title, but the North American Championship. You have the personality, but I haven't seen you. I can't think of a singles match where you spotlighted like that just yet.
Yeah.
Will she be one? Does she have the chops to be the NXT Women's Champion? Absolutely.
I think she definitely does. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you gotta. I see you taking your shot, and I'm here for it. But let's cook, as we've been talking about with all of the stuff that's going on in wrestling. Let's cook for a second. Go after Kalani's title.
Let it simmer. We'll let it simmer.
Go after that, because I feel like y'all could put on some bangers and stuff. That'll be a great rivalry. But and again, I'm not diminishing Lash. I want to see Lash move up properly. I don't want to see her try to catapult something and then lose that luster, go up to the main roster, and then kind of like, hey, let's really build you as, hey, I'm here to stay. I'm a staple at NXT. I've held this title. Now I'm holding this title. Well, so when I move up, I got some credibility to myself, and they know I'm good on the mic and I'm good in vignettes. So just, I do agree that you should be a number one contender. Just, you mentioned the wrong title.
Got it. Bobby says maybe Lash Legend could talk to Ava to see if she can go to TNA and do a match against Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship. That would be very interesting. I'm just wondering, when is the turning point for Lash Legend, only because she has come so far, with the whole with when getting ready for the combine. She ranked pretty high up there, and she was also very like her abilities were detrimental to the North American Women's Championship match. And even though she fell short, Dylan raises a great point. Will Miss Jackson appreciate being left out? I mean, something's got to give, because either you're gonna put the tag titles on these girls, or you're gonna break them up and have them go solo, or not even just break them up, just put them in their rightful paths, because they both have great abilities. And I think that it's about time that we see Lash Legend shine in a different way, as opposed to always being affiliated with Metaphor. You know what I mean? Like, Oro Mensah is taking it into his own hands to take care of Ethan Page and get revenge for Noam Dar. He's taking it upon himself. Lash Legend needs to take it upon herself to start roughing up some girls in the back and being like, listen, I belong here and I need to be on top, and I want some gold as well. And I've been here for quite some time. So I feel like we could possibly see that kind of a version of Lash Legend. I would personally like to see it for her. Yeah, definitely. Cousin Ron, good to see you. Happy Monday, WWT fam. Yes, we are. It's been a long freaking weekend, guys. Boza says Mr. Mayor wouldn't like it if another woman besides his client wanted Roxanne. Well, it just might happen. Yeah,
because she might be in handcuffs by the time it's time for her title reign. Because we are coming.
That's right. Yes. In case anybody didn't know, forget the presidential debate. This is the real debate we need to have right here. Councilman versus the mayor. Councilman is raising a very, very serious case against Lola Vice, and the mayor does have some answers for it. And hopefully we will hear from him soon about that. But until that debate, we must move on, and the show must go on. Boza says, I wonder if Lash thinks beating Roxanne would be easier than beating Kaylani. Not for nothing, Lash could eat up both these girls and make it look easy if they wanted to book her that way, if she really wanted to.
Yeah,
that I will say.
Yeah.
Dylan Matthews, Miss Jackson, I would never leave you out. It's giving Outcast vibes right there. I like that.
Yeah. But they have to split them though. That's the thing. And like you said, to your point, honey, I don't think it needs to be like a breakup, but I need to see them not with each other. And that's the thing. Like, y'all keep pairing them together to where it's like, okay, these two need to break out. If you want them to, like you said, if it's going to be a tag team, then have the unholy union come fight them. Yes. And if it's not, let these girls start having more singles matches to differentiate each other. So then that way, Metaphor isn't just looking like a group. It's looking like a group of strong individuals that's coming together to make some stuff happen.
Yeah. Good point. Very, very good point. But I'd like to see it do it in the typical way where we don't see the team split up the way they do, or the Trick Williams and the Carmelo effect, like all of that stuff. Try to do something different. Let's try to do something different. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see. We know NXT is coming up in just another day. To go on with some quick news that is going around. And as of today, Ricochet's WWE contract has reportedly expired, making him now a free agent. And it is rumored that he is engaged. It is not rumored. It is he is engaged also to Samantha Irvin, who we love very much, one of our favorite ring announcers right now, besides, of course, Alicia Taylor. I mean, they're all doing great. Yeah. Fightful noted that Irvin is expected to continue her position in WWE, and rumors are going around that Mr. Ricochet is going to head to AEW. What do you think of that possibility, Councilman, now that Ricochet's contract has expired? And do you think he goes to AEW, or does he go somewhere else?
I think AEW is smart because I think after what I seen with Forbidden Door, and we're about to talk about that in a little bit, Ricochet finds himself at a pivotal point where this can really work in his favor. Because as you know, as we talked about in the last live, they try to tell their stories through wrestling and not so much promo. And I think those were kind of some of the things that Ricochet was I don't want to say lacking, but I don't think that he was at the top of the class when it came to the cutting promos, to the vignettes, to getting the crowd behind him when he speaks, instead of just his moves. And because that's what and they used to call him like the human highlight reel, the walking cheat code. I think with the way that they're moving right now at AEW, this works to his benefit because if you saw the main event of Forbidden Door, replace Will with Ricochet, and you still finna have these same effects that's gonna be seen. And he has more than enough people in there that he can work with to that point to give 5-star matches, as opposed to WWE stars that, don't get me wrong, like they put on great matches too, but we know like it's the entertainment side they're more focused of rather than the entertainment within the match. And I think it's a good look for Ricochet to be there for like, I don't know how long his contract is going to be, but really try to get some headway within the next 2 to 3 years, and then can potentially be brought back. Because I know Triple H does still consider him like one of his favorites and stuff. So I don't see that door being closed for him to not come back.
Okay, interesting point. I mean, obviously, we know that Ricochet has a lot of extensive history with some people in AEW, names like Swerve and Will Ospreay, who had a banger of a main event match over the weekend, which we will talk about shortly. But if he does sign with AEW, it is rumored heavily that he could appear as soon as this Wednesday for their episode of Dynamite with this contract expiring. So we'll just have to wait and see on Wednesday and see what happens. But we have some thoughts here in the chat. Oh, Jacob, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Bobby says, I think Ricochet could go to TNA or NJPW. Dylan says, Boza says, I would have guessed him going to TNA, but Councilman is right. Ricochet is in the best spot to go to AEW because of fake TK spends on all the matches to tell stories. Dylan says Ricochet just needs to get his beak wet, do his thing, then come back home and get booked like the damn star he is. I couldn't agree more. There's quite a few stars that I feel that way about, that they really desperately need to come back home. Malachi Black. Dylan, sorry, I had to sneeze, girl. Dylan says fake TK gonna sign that man for 15 years, and we all know it.
Ricochet's gotten more smarter with that. Like I think, like Ricochet knows his worth. The only thing is, it's you know what it is. It's kind of like a Dijak. Like it's just hard to like in that particular company. You have so many people that you need to make sure to get the approval of. It's not just the fans. So it's like creative has to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to invest in moving you to this and then having you take up this screen time to get you here. Oh, I also have to make sure the people upstairs who are putting the money behind it when these matches come are cool with us putting money into rechanging your character and moving you here. And I think that is a lot tougher in WWE than it is in AEW. And I think folks like Dijak and folks like Ricochet, who needed a slight change, got put on the back burners of we'll get to y'all. But it's just like, yo, the more you keep saying we getting to you, y'all turning their stock down. Like you making Dijak look like a joke. Ricochet is always taking the hits. You brutalized him to make Braun Breaker go up, and you've just been doing that to him the entire time. And it's just like, yo, Ricochet's put on the weight. He's put on the time. He could have literally been Swerve for the WWE. But because of so many plays and so many layers that you got to go through, it just wasn't that time. And I think he made the right choice to go. And I think he still could go do things in Japan, being signed to AEW. I could see him doing Japan matches as well.
Yeah, for sure. I could totally see that for him. Dylan, I know I need to get some allergy medicine for those summer allergies, because they just keep hitting. I think it's like something in the air that fake TK just keeps putting around, especially after every pay-per-view. But I don't know. I digress. let's go into the order of pretty much the weekend. So we're gonna kick this off talking about a little bit of SmackDown results. I'm just gonna go through the highlights a little bit, and then we're gonna go into the main thing that we all know, the disrespect. Anyway, SmackDown started off. If you guys were with me, I had my Honey SmackDown watch along. Excuse me, Honey Night SmackDown, as newly named and dubbed by our councilman here. Honey Night SmackDown watch along last week on Friday, and it started off pretty damn chaotic. We had Cody Rhodes, brawling with the Bloodline and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and it was just absolute chaos. And they got escorted out by NYPD because when it goes down in Brooklyn, they don't play. They call the NYPD, or excuse me, Manhattan. Even I mean, how quickly they arrived, because sometimes they don't arrive that quick. But we also had our qualifying matches, our triple threat women's Money in the Bank. We had Tiffany Stratton defeat Jade Cargill and Candice LeRae. And we also got something really interesting that we saw with LA Knight. LA Knight defeated Logan Paul and Santos Escobar in the triple threat men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. And we even had a real cool interaction where Logan Paul had the nerve to bring Tyrese Halliburton from the Indiana Pacers to the home of the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. But if you thought that LA Knight was coming by himself, he didn't. Mr. Jalen Big Body Brunson, as Kendrick Perkins likes to call him on ESPN, Big Body Brunson showed up with a chair defending LA Knight and going face to face with Tyrese Halliburton, which was a really, really cool moment. I like that a lot. I was pretty hyped about that. If you guys saw the reaction. We also had Naomi defeat Indy Hartwell and Blair Davenport in the triple threat women's Money in the Bank. So she's going to be in the ladder match as well in Toronto, and Money in the Bank is just days away. But unfortunately, we have to acknowledge the real assault that happened. Okay, I've seen assaults, but this was pure obliteration. Okay, the wise man, may he recover in peace, because he was destroyed by the Bloodline 2.0 after not acknowledging Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief. And when I tell you, I haven't heard a pop like that in a long time. I mean, not really, I'm kind of lying, but like a pop like that, to where people were, once Solo started saying Madison Square Garden, I was like, oh, hell no, he's not. He is not going to do this. And he created his own acknowledgement ceremony where he demanded Madison Square Garden acknowledge him. He also had Tama Tonga acknowledge him in the native tongue as well. Tongaloa acknowledged him. And finally, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, which is now proclaimed as Solo's enforcer, to acknowledge him as well. Once that happened, I said, oh my God, it's Paul's turn. And you could just see the stress in this man's eyes. Somebody, and Boss Lady has said this numerous times on the show. Shout outs to the Boss Lady and Professor. Godspeed on travels back from the Bahamas, and hope you guys had a wonderful time at Baja Fest. But TK has said, the real TK has said many times on the show, that Paul Heyman deserves a damn Emmy for his acting and for how well he performs. And Paul Heyman was unfortunately attacked by the Bloodline. He was hit with the Samoan spike, a headbutt from the top rope, and also shield bombed onto a commentary table to finish it off. Councilman, what do you think about these atrocious actions by the new Bloodline, and what is going to happen to Paul Heyman from here?
Now, unlike this case that I have right here on Miss Lola Vice and her criminal activity that we are getting ready to take to court, we're not doing that with the Bloodline. You basic bitches gonna have to see me. You gonna have to see me. Jacob, Tonga, Solo, with your little short man complex. You gonna have to see you. I bet not catch you at no Samoan restaurants. You gonna have to see us for what you did to the wise man. Ain't no court, ain't no talking, ain't no nothing. Yet, just like how Cody Rhodes and them came for you, we coming for y'all. All right, you done messed up. You done messed up, Solo. And if you think when you did that shield power bomb that the echoes did not reach the tribe, you go do this to the tribal chief's wise man after his father just passed away. You are wild. You are wild, and you will be struck not with the Superman punch. You about to get God punched. This man finna put on the golden glove and punch the crap out of all of y'all.
Yes.
We are coming for you, you basic bloodline. We are coming for your ass.
This is bullshit. I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
Got my homies stressing.
Always acknowledge your tribal chief, because Solo is not our tribal chief.
Not my tribal chief.
We're not having it. You desecrate the name of Roman Reigns. You desecrate the wise man. You basically shit on everything that they've created and built for you. The nerve of you Solo Sikoa.
You got too much ego, Solo. You don't have enough of a hairline and a lineup for you to be acting that way. You don't. All right. You got the basic barber haircut. Your suit don't even fit you. You out here using Bray Wyatt's gloves. We see you. I'm calling you out, Solo. Yeah. This why? Because you got baby complex. Because you the littlest out of all of them. All the Usos, all stuff. Ain't got no gold, no nothing. You go. Did you see when you showed the clip of Roman Reigns how youthful Paul Heyman looked? The happiness. And then we saw this man on SmackDown. He looked like he finna be on the dark side of the ring. Because of you, Solo. I cannot wait till our tribal chief returns and push you on your ass.
Whoops that ass, bro. Lets you know who the real tribal chief is here. And I know sometimes, and I know us as commentators and co-hosts and content creators, we gotta be, we can't be biased. But in this case, that's it. You put your hands on the wise man. You done messed up. Up.
They tell us not to be biased. I'm finna be just like The Rock. They tell you not to be biased. Fuck that. Fuck that. Don't you cut these cameras off. I said what I said about Solo. The final boss told me I could talk this shit. So I can talk to the final TK said. Say what you want to say about it. But you go smell what every 15 inches of Roman Reigns shoe is going to be cooking in your ass.
Oh, man. The councilman is unhinged. And you know what, Solo? This is what you get.
Heel of the day!
Heel of the day goes to Solo Sikoa. And that's that, because we said so. That's the bottom line, because the two electrifying tag team champions and digital entertainment said so, period.
Yep. But I do want to do just a few more things about SmackDown outside of just that, because we also had some other dope moments that came in.
Yes.
One that I did enjoy was after the show, I believe Cody Rhodes actually came out with the belt that Dusty Rhodes had won in Madison Square Garden, stood on the exact turnbuckle he was in and raised it high. All in all, like a great SmackDown, definitely keeping up with Raw. Raw and SmackDown are right here. Love to see Tiffy in the bank. That's who I'm going for now. Sorry, Chelsea. I was rooting for you, but
councilman, you switching sides now?
Hey, you know my client is. I'm the mayor of Strattonville. Come on now.
But when you have not been the mayor of Strattonville in weeks, because you were just hanging in Greenville.
Well, listen, we knew what happened with Tiffany Stratton. We wasn't sure what was going to be going on. I always have to keep my options open just in case, they close up the town. You know what I'm saying? I can't be the mayor of a town where ain't nobody there. So, but since Tiffany's won, we back on Tiffy time.
from
And
Greenville to Strattonville, and here we are,
yeah.
Councilman just flip flopping in the cities.
And then LA Knight, I think Logan Paul is going to cost LA Knight at the Money in the Bank event. I think that's going to happen just because of the fact that he won, just to further this feud. But one big highlight that I did like was these beefs and stories that are setting up. So like Davenport and Naomi, but then also to Jade, Bianca, Candice, and Indy. You know, at first I did kind of think that
And
was
Alexa.
over. And Electra.
Mello
And
here, Dylan. Yeah, shout out to Dylan.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comment for having their Madison Square Garden debuts. That's freaking awesome. Good for them.
But I like seeing Blair and Jade strengthen the both of them as a tag team for Indy and oh my god, Candice. For Indy and Candice, like showing them that, like, yo, no, we are someone that y'all should take seriously. We do not play around and stuff. So I'm glad that they're still doing that. This was just all in all, SmackDown was just great. Second time in a row, just
banger after banger of a week. Cindy, shout outs to you, baby girl. Shout out to Mr. Heyman. She says depriving himself of sleep to look genuinely messed up for the promos. You gotta love the man. There's just no range that he won't climb to make the story work. You know, that's Paul E. Dangerously, and that's a Hall of Famer right there. Jacob says, I want to see that match between Tyrese and the other guy. The other guy's name is Jalen Brunson, okay? And that's Big Body Brunson. Ain't no other guy. Okay. Yeah. If anything, in my opinion, and that's also because I'm from New York as well. But the Knicks aren't, what's crazy is I'm from New York, but the Knicks aren't even my favorite, my top favorite team or my go-to team. But Jalen Brunson, if you want to talk about the other guy, you should have said Tyrese was the other guy. Just saying.
Can't say that to a New Yorker and be on here.
Definitely
like, the
not.
other guy be like, whoa.
I'm not gonna let you get away with that, Jacob. Dylan says, I did not pop for this at all. This was elders abuse for referring to Paul Heyman. Boza says, Dylan Matthews, I meant where someone didn't acknowledge Solo. Real TK is right. Paul Heyman has saved this storyline indeed. Oh, yeah. Let's see what other comments we got here. Oh, Nia versus Jade as well. That's true. Boza says, LOL, Miss Karen has to win. If she cashes in, she wants to be WWE Divas champion. I did see something like that surfacing around the internet. I wasn't sure. But that would be interesting. Yeah. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton are definitely top favorites to win in this match. Unless I'm overlooking something. But those two are my favorites right now.
Besides, because I think it's only one spot left, and we're gonna see that on Raw, and I think that's gonna go to Dakota Kai. Same. Io's not gonna win. Io's just gonna put on some good spots. I think I think she's gonna try to help Dakota, but it's not gonna really go well. Lyra, too new, so just not just yet. So whoever this third one is, the highest we're looking at is either Tiffany or Chelsea. But I'm gonna if Dakota wins, I'm making Dakota the dark horse. Dark horse.
That would be sick. That would be sick if she wins. That would be crazy. Boza says, I thought Honey would be more unhinged than the Councilman. Listen, I saw it live and I had a live stream on it. I was unhinged. I even apologized ahead of time to the boss lady, and I said quite a few F-bombs because I was like, and y'all know damn well, as Eric Isaac says here, Roman will be coming with a vengeance, and it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Cousin Ron says the switch up happened fast.
Hey, man, listen, I got to keep my options open. I got to keep my options open, man. Why I can't have multiple constituents that I help out? No one said this when I mentioned Roxy Perez. Nobody said anything. I got multiples that I'm invested in. Like Heyman. I take after the great Paul Heyman. You know what I'm saying? When you see the best, you follow the best.
Period. Tell him, Councilman. Dylan says, if Money in the Bank wasn't in Canada, I would say Tiffy, but I think Chelsea Green is taking it. You know, sometimes the hometown heroes never win, though. Just be careful with that. Boza says, the question is, do we get Bailey versus Nia Jax at SummerSlam, or does Bailey get beat before SummerSlam? Listen, Queen Nia, y'all messing with my girl. You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear, and you're gonna piss her off. Just saying, including that young young man that was sticking the middle finger up that caused my screen to go black. It was a really weird interaction with Nia Jax, but she was coming out and the kid literally had the middle finger right in her
Yeah.
face and they had to black out the screen. Oh, parenting.
I see it
do
though.
better for those.
Yeah.
Do better for your kids, man.
Yeah.
Do better for your kids. Don't be doing
Teach them
that.
some respect.
Exactly. Have some decorum. Cindy says, I'm just sad to see Heyman probably won't be around until Roman returns, which is probably true. Jacob says, sorry, I was trying to write his name because I didn't want to get his name messed up. No, I got you. No worries. I was just messing with you anyway. Let's see. I think Io or Kai wins with a Kyrie interference. Ooh, she's talking about the destruction of damage control here. Is that what you think is going to happen? That's interesting, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I say I put Dakota as the dark horse. Like,
right.
I see, like, the same way Bailey got Io to win, Io passes it over and gets Dakota, because technically Dakota right now is the leader of damage control.
And Io's got a lot going on. She's going to be traveling real soon. So
she's
got a match in Marigold. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's just get into really quick since we're away from SmackDown a little bit. There was a pay-per-view this weekend.
There was a pay-per-view.
Forbidden Door. There was a huge pay-per-view called Forbidden Door by AEW, and 13 matches, y'all. 13 matches. That's a lot. I personally didn't see it all. I didn't see all the details. I did see some clips online, and I do know what mostly around what happened. So we're gonna breeze through some of these little matches, and we're gonna go into the big ones that really took the night. Let's see. We had our first match, I believe, was Serpentico versus Kyle Fletcher, and they pretty much had a little one-on-one, and they had Serpentico. Let me see. Yeah, Serpentico obviously, not obviously, but he came out on top against Kyle Fletcher. The turnbuckle brainbuster for the pin, and not bad. That's not a bad way to end the match. But after that, we had the 4-way tag. I hate that they still do this to my guys, man, because they deserve so much better. Had the House of Black, which had Brody King and Malachi Black versus Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii versus Private Parry, which was Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Ken, versus NJPW Strong Openweight Champion Gabe Kidd and Roderick Strong, with the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Matt Tavern and Mike Bennett. That's a mouthful right there.
That is.
We also had Willow Nightingale and Tom Nakano versus Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe with Stokely Hathaway. Who came out on top with that, Councilman? Do you know?
I think Willow and then won on that one for the 0 hour.
Excellent. Well, not bad for Willow. I mean, I'm not sure what they're doing when she goes from being the main eventer to then being the third
to 0 hour.
I don't understand that. I really don't get it. These are the things that we question. Fake TK. These are the things that we continue to question with you. Not to say that this was a bad pay-per-view, because there was a lot of cool moments.
It was, but I think they should also take from WWE. We do not need 13 matches. Like Mariah May and Saraya did not need to have a match. Even for the 0 to 4-way tag team match, because there wasn't a lot of story developed to have that, it wasn't needed. Even with Willow, I think y'all should have allowed her to stay stepped in the back, and then let her
these
regroup.
were all pre-show matches too.
All these are pre-show matches.
Even the Owen Hart Cup.
Yep, and that was between Mariah May and Saraya.
I don't understand that. But the first official opening match for Forbidden Door was MJF versus I don't know how to say this. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm going to butcher it. Hechicero. I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
A masked wrestler.
There you go. Okay. That guy. Okay. I haven't kept up with AEW, guys, so please forgive me. MJF did leave with a victory, but he did not leave in the best shape. So we'll see what transpires from that rivalry there. All-Star Trios match, the Elite with Okada and the Young Bucks, versus the Scissor Ace and the Acclaimed, which we saw the president of NJPW join the Acclaimed over the weekend. You
Nope.
could proceed, Councilman. What are
Nope.
your thoughts?
Nope. Didn't
No.
need to happen. Another one of these are just like, there was again like
and they pinned Tanahashi.
Yeah. And that's why I'm just like, it's just, again, it's another thing of just like, I don't know why Cody left AEW, but it's now becoming more clear that if it had someone involved with it, it had to be the Young Bucks. Once it had to have been something to do with the Young Bucks. Because dope, you did get it correct.
Yeah, thank God.
there wasn't nothing here. There wasn't no story development. There wasn't no story being told in the ring. It's literally just 8 guys in the ring just taking up time.
And yeah, which has always been my problem with AEW for the most part. It's just more of the same thing. Unfortunately, it was amped up to be something pretty big, especially when Tanahashi came up on the screen for the challenge, but there was no depth to the story. I understand you want to tell stories in the ring, Tony, but for God's sakes, you have to pay attention to the details of it. It's like kind of like when it's kind of like when you're filming a movie and you're shooting a scene, right? You're shooting a scene in this one spot, this particular moment, this particular thing, and then you say cut. Then you got to go back to that, revisit that scene again. You got to make sure everything still continues the same way for the continuation effect to make sure it still flows good. Because say if there was oh, that light wasn't this way or that light wasn't this way. You still have to correct. It's just so many details to that. You get what I'm saying, but
no, I get what you're saying. And then somebody coming in like, hey, by the way, I know we finna reshoot the same scene, but we gonna throw the Rock in there because he's out here today. Right. Y'all can make that work, right? Y'all can make that congruent with the movie, right?
I don't know.
What? No. Hey, this is a children's story. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, just throw them in there. We'll make it work. We'll make it work in post. Like, first off, the Acclaim and the Young Bucks, no story there. Haven't developed no story between them. Random tag team facing the Young Bucks. The President and Okada, great. That's something you could have told there.
That's something I would have liked one-on-one. I would like that just one-on-one.
And no kind of story was told. They act like Okada wasn't even from New Japan. Like Okada been here at AEW. It was like, it was like everything we knew about these two people from what we knew from, they did not put that in the ring.
Wow. Oh, well, I'm kind of I'm sad that I missed it because I really did want to see it, but your girl had to make some money and work over the weekend, so I couldn't really get a grasp on it. But from what I'm hearing, there were some little highlights. I thought this would have been something that would have came out of that in the highlight conversation, but obviously, according to the councilman, it did not. You guys, let us know what y'all think in the chat. There's a lot of really interesting comments here in the chat. Let's just see. Boza says they added a ROH squash match between Kyle Fletcher and Serpentico. Watched up. Dylan Matthews says I watched up until the TNT match, which apparently that's where it got good. That's apparently the same thing that I'm hearing. Yes. Willow didn't even get the pin, which I found interesting. That's crazy.
Didn't need to be in that match. They could have gotten someone else for that match.
Wow. Bobby says House of Black, Brody King, and Malachi Black should go after AEW Tag Team Championship. I don't think they should. I think they should do everything to get out of AEW. Quite honestly.
Come on home.
Please come home.
Come on home.
For real. Boza says Mariah versus Saraya was an Owen tournament match. Mariah advanced. Now she has Hikaru Shida on Wednesday.
Which I don't think you should have your Owen Hart tournament matches at your pay-per-view, especially in the 0 hour before the show starts. You should keep that within your main programming so we know things like that. Like for us, because if we didn't watch 0 hour, we're not going to know this.
That's true. That is very true. Boza says as I call them, the jackasses of AEW, beat Scissor Ace. Why fake TK made this match, I don't know. Looks like he's in agreement with the councilman. Cindy says Tony Storm, Mariah, and Mina Shirakawa were the highlight for me. See,
Yes.
they were. I didn't see exactly everything in the match, and this is probably why I feel this way. But I hate that the highlight that I did see is this damn kiss. What is the point? TK, what is the fake TK? What is the point of you getting at this? Like, I understand there's a certain demographic, there's certain, gentlemen that, guys, but you know what? It's about wrestling. I don't want to keep seeing these girls kissing each other every day a week. Like, what kind of story are we really telling with these three? Apparently they did put on a great match though.
No,
apparently it was a banger. But
no,
I'm just saying, I could do without the damn kiss. I would have much rather liked to see a video of some of the highlights and the moves that they were doing in the ring, as opposed to the damn kiss, because they made it seem like that was the most important part of the match.
I think too it's supposed to be more of like a form of respect, because like we normally see Tony kind of like not respect a lot of the people that she fights. It's just kind of like, yo, I am the timeless one, I'm this. But to have someone that like, and again, they did serve in this match. Like, I give their match like 4 out of 5. Like, it was a great match. But this is like, to your point, this is where fake TK, where storyline is important. If she's timeless Tony Storm, they did not do that in the 1920s. Now, if you did it to where it was the kiss like this, and they and they exchanged with each other, then that would have been fine. But this whole triple kiss that you keep trying to get, it's like, yo, this ain't the Attitude Era, and you ain't even doing it right. Like, know your character.
God bless Mariah May, says Dylan. Young Bucks will always have my vote for what they did to fake TK. I mean, that's probably the only thing I can say that was different. That was like, oh, we're going in this route with you guys. Oh, okay, cool. But
everything else is just
else is just downhill.
You can tell you're signed. You own a part of this company, and you're allowing it to be shown.
Yep. Boza says, amen, honey. It feels like the AEW Women's Championship is an afterthought since Mercedes showed up. The kiss was the damn match.
And the match was good. That's why I was just like, yo,
and I'm not here to discredit anybody's talent, because I know all of these. I know all three of those women have stellar abilities in the ring, but why make that the thing? Like, why make that the thing? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Because it's like, it's supposed to be women's wrestling. Women's wrestling. You say you have the best women's roster and best women's wrestling in your company right now. You're not proving it by doing stunts like that, because that you're not doing it.
Or the fact that you only have 4 out of the 13 matches be women, and 2 of them are during 0 hour.
Hello.
So what are you really doing? What are you really doing?
Preach, councilman, preach. We had the men's. Oh, let's just move on from there. Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinal. The American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Rampage Dragon Shingo Takagi. Let's see. Winner faces the Bastard Pack this Wednesday on Dynamite. Danielson.
He picked up the victory.
Yeah, so Danielson seems to have come out on top, which I guess a lot of people are cool with, because
it was cool. Yeah, they gave us what you expect Daniel Bryanson to give you. Like, it was, Bryan Danielson, excuse me, to give you. Wasn't a bad match. Wasn't a highlight of the pay-per-view, but it gave you what you needed. Like, it's not one of those like, this did not need to be in here. Like, this was one of those like, okay, cool. Now we can go to the next one. So I give him 3 out of 5 for that one.
Right. Well, okay. I might have to, get on the Fire Stick and watch this, I guess.
Yeah, because they gave a couple bangers.
Timeless. We had the AEW Women's World Championship match, which we just talked about. Timeless Tony Storm with Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. And we know that Timeless Tony Storm came out on top because she's still a champ, which is fine with me. That's fine with me. But I just don't know where they're going with the constant kissing and what their story is going with Mariah May. Is there going to be a betrayal? Is there not? I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that moment. It's like this is like the longest cliffhanger ever.
Right.
But I digress. Zack Sabre versus the freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. I didn't really see any highlights from this match. But a lot of people were chanting, "This is wrestling." Apparently,
yeah, no, it was no, it's kind of like the Bryan Danielson match. Like they gave what they were supposed to give. Like it was if you were there, because I had a few people there at the pay-per-view, being there was way better than how it was shown on TV. I'll say that. Like, but it gave what it was supposed to. I would say 3 out of 5 for them.
God, there's so many matches that happened, but Orange Cassidy did not come out on top in this match, and he got actually submitted in this match. That's a surprise for me. The trios battle, FTW champion, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. I mean, do we really, Chris Jericho?
So I will say this.
Redwood, yeah, go ahead. Big Bill with Hook, Samoa Joe, and Katsuri. I'm gonna screw this up. The wrestler Shibata. I'm just gonna say Shibata.
Yes. I will say the only highlight from this match. Again, this is one of those like didn't need it but didn't mind it. Okay, it was one of those matches. Didn't need it, didn't mind it. But what I do like though is the difference in what you saw about how people really feel about this company. So again, I don't know too much. I don't know too much to speak about Jericho if it's ego of why he's still here or if it's just the character and stuff. Yeah. But I do like how you can see of like how big Joe is a real player for everybody and how he really does give a care about wrestling and can put his ego to the side. Because of what I found very impressive was when they all walked out together, he let Hook be in the middle and he took a step back as they came down, letting us know that like, hey, I'm invested in the future of wrestling. This guy is a star. This guy is going to be somewhere. Let's put him in the forefront. We're here to support him so he can potentially get his FTW title back. And I thought, and I give big respects to Samoa Joe for that. And that's why it's just like, yo, that's a lot of stuff people you don't normally see. And when you do get to see it, it's always a beautiful thing. But it was like I said, it was a cool match. Like it wasn't one that was needed, but I'm not mad that it happened.
Yeah, I think the surprising part mostly was the fact that Hook beat Jericho with his own move. And Taz even made a point to say that Hook ended the match with hitting Jericho with the Judas effect elbow, and he pinned him for the win, and he stands on top. TNT Championship ladder match. We had Dante Martin versus El Fantasma versus Scapegoat Jack Perry versus the Alpha Takeshita Leo Rush versus Leo Rush versus Mark Briscoe as well. That just sounds like a mouthful. There's just this just seems like oversaturation. Just even announcing it. But the winner and new TNT championship, the new TNT champion is the Scapegoat, Jack Perry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was cool. It did not do better than the women's ladders match in NXT. I will say that. But also, too, we knew Jack Perry was going to win. Like, we already knew he was going to be champ. And they didn't make us feel like that wasn't going to happen. That's what this match was. It was just kind of like, we're going to put some spots on, run a little time, and then we're going to have Jack Perry climb the ladder and win. Like, all of us knew that, and there was never a time of like, oh, snap, Jack Perry might not win. Oh, I think old boy finna. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was kind of like, it was predictable, but you weren't sure at first.
Yeah, it was very, very predictable. Just like, okay, we know who's about to win. Like, you saw when the end was coming, and it's like, he's going to take it.
I was gonna say, I wonder how well that fares, being that the Elite are the EVPs and Jack Perry now is the TNT champion. Like, what bodes for that story going forward? That could be a little interesting. Let's see. Obviously, this was the match that everybody's talking about. From what I'm seeing, is the title versus title TBS champion Mercedes Moné, the CEO, versus New Japan Strong Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer, and Mercedes came out on top. Mercedes did win, and now she is Mercedes two belts Monet, and she got a little surprised towards the end of it, and I'm really happy about this surprise because Mercedes got taken a little back to Britsburg. Okay, Britt Baker, the doctor, DMD, has returned. I've been waiting for this return for a while, so I'm very happy to see this, and I cannot wait to see what she has to say coming up this week, because I will definitely be stay tuned for that, because I want to see her versus Mercedes.
Her face,
gonna be
her
good.
face when Britt came out, Mercedes' face and Britt's face, like, bitch, I don't know who you think run this shit, but you looking at the real one that run AEW. You looking at the real the real CEO of AEW, and I'm finna learn you. But what a lot of it, and I wish the mayor was on here because I wanted to hear what he said at the fact that I don't know how they cut it up on television. Oh, but everybody was booing Mercedes in that arena.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was Boo City when she won.
Boo hoo.
She was not the fan favorite that night. I got the footage because my homegirl was sitting right at the in the lower section, right by the ring. They were booing Mercedes Monet.
Wow.
Because they already because again, it's a line that you have to teeter, and fake TK has already shown that you allow these wrestlers to have way too much creative control on what they do, and you're just allowing Mercedes to do whatever she wants. It's like, yo, I get it. She got injured, so that's why she wants the strong belt. But it's like, is she gonna go defend it? Or is she just finna be walking around with these belts now and only defend the TBS championship? Is she finna be giving it to us on both sides? And we know that's not gonna happen.
Well, I guess that's the perks of having creative control. And speaking of, Boza says here, yes, she has creative control, so she wants to be Mercedes two belts again. She shit herself when she got the surprise. Cousin Ron says, I got to say, I was highly disappointed in the Mercedes match. Dylan says, I didn't see this, but I assume this match was great, and the doctor's appointment was long overdue. I couldn't agree more with that. Cindy says, Mercedes getting cooked badly on Twitter for having creative control over this.
Mm-hmm.
Some would argue. I mean, do you think, you know what? I'm going to ask you guys in the chat as well as you councilmen. Should superstars automatically have creative control, or should it only be certain ones? Should all superstars have creative control, or should it only be the big players like, the Roman Reigns?
I think you can, but I think you can, but I think you also, it's kind of like when you're pitching like a show to a network, or if you're pitching a movie to somebody, what they'll ask you is, what is your 5-year plan? How do you see this going? And so for someone like Mercedes, it's just like, okay, cool. This is how you want to do this. Fine. So give me this. We need to get to All In, and might be going to Wembley again. We need to get to All In. Tell me how you see, if this is how it's going to go. You tell me how we get you from here to here without the crowd losing interest, the crowd turning on you, or the crowd, or us messing up the dollars we're going to have to invest in you to be able to do this. Was this supposed to be turning you heel? So when Britt Baker comes, it makes it even more pop as her as a baby face? Or is this more catered towards your ego and vindication for winning this title and then having to sustain an injury and then dropping the title? Because if it's not for, how does it, and I think John Cena said it when they always talk about him, when they're throwing him an idea, how does this push the brand further? And I think for someone like Mercedes, were you focusing on pushing the brand, or are you more focused on pushing yourself and your career?
Right. Yeah.
Because Stephanie was giving it to you in this match.
I think that's a valid question. And from what I'm hearing with these two women, they put on a really, really good match. And there was a lot of people saying that Stephanie really held that match down.
She did. She did. It made her look very good. There's a reason why she is the New Japan Strong's champion, and it showed in this match. Now, also too, for the fact of Mercedes taking the spots, making her look strong, I will give Mercedes that. She did do that. But I think, and I won't fully speak for her, but it's like you need to kind of find a balance between pushing the brand itself and pushing yourself, because right now you have 2 titles being held, which is cool. But now let's look at the bigger picture. They're already putting you over the AEW's women's champion, which means the main belt is consistently dropping in stock. Now you have a second title added to you, which means more TV time, which means more of the eyes pointed at you. And Timeless Tony Storm, who is supposed to be the top of your division, consistently being a mid card. So you did not think about how do we strengthen this, because that should be your next opponent. And in all honesty, you should do a triple threat match between Mercedes, Britt Baker, and Tony Storm to see who is the superior and who is at the top of the division in AEW.
I like it. I like the little interest in a little trios women action. I kind of like that. I like that. A little trios champ for the women. That would be interesting. I mean, that'd be a great conversation here at Women's Wrestling Talk. But we have 2 more matches to go over, and then we're gonna give you a lovely message from our sponsors. We had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match with Jon Moxley and Tetsuya Naito, and I didn't hear too much about this match either, but anything with Mox is absolutely going to slap, and it's absolutely insane. But they made history, and we have the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Tetsuya Naito. What do we think, really quick, about that, Councilman?
I like that decision was made. That's where fake TK. That's where you did it right. That's where you got it right. You know, you've been hearing us then. I think he watched, I think he knows about women's wrestling talk, and he heard us talking that ish, because it was like, yo, Japan needs a win. Japan needs to look good with these matches. And for Jon Moxley to have it fall to Naito was very good. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that Moxley got it, because I know that's the championship that he's always wanted, and he represented it proudly. He worked it over in both divisions, from New Japan on to here, and I'm glad that it fell to them, because that lets you know, okay, it's back in our camp. This is who we're looking at, because Tetsuya has definitely, I feel like, taken the spot of Okada and in New Japan, especially as being that person, and I'm glad that it happened here. So big shouts out to Jon Moxley for that. And very small shout out to Real TK for actually doing something right.
There's somewhere out there the fake TK is listening, and you know what? He knows we're right for the most part, especially us in the chat. Dylan says Jon Moxley dropped the Divas title for Chelsea Green to pick it up and run with it. I am so done with you. Cousin Ron says, is this the reason not too many people and JPW stars went over? Because the big one was going home. That could
quite the opposite. A lot of them didn't want to participate because of what had been happening and transpiring. Like some folks have tweeted out about it and said, like, you know, they think just like how it's being treated, but a lot of them just didn't really want to participate, just because if we're going over here, if we're about to take this over 10-hour flight to get over here just to make another company look good, like, nah, I'm not feeling that.
And Eddie James makes a good point. Good to see you, Eddie. What do you guys think of AEW going to the Tokyo Dome at the beginning of next year? I think it would make perfect sense, especially if you're going to have the title on Naito. So have him defend it at the Tokyo Dome. It's going to be huge. Yeah. And then finally, the match that everyone is talking about. Now, this I've seen some highlights for. It was the main event. Finally, we're here. The main event. The Aerial Assassin paid Will Ospreay paid tribute to Hayabusa with his entrance gear, which looked really awesome in the pictures. Swerve made a great entrance as well, being accompanied to the ring by multi-platinum recording artist Jim Jones. Balling. Love that for him. But according to the internet and the IWC, this match was the match. Both men completely put it on the line, and they were going back and forth, and this was just really, really good. But nevertheless, Swerve remains the champ, which I'm totally for. I'm not against I'm not against Will Ospreay in any way, because I do think that he is one of the main ones on the roster that do bring something to this division in AEW. And shout outs to both of them for putting on a great showing. It's a loss for now for Ospreay, but that doesn't mean that we won't see this again. I could totally see this match happening again. But congratulations to Swerve for retaining, and that was pretty much the results of the Forbidden Door. Let's go into a commercial from our sponsors really quick. Shout outs to All Caribbean Wrestling, and shout outs to them having their Baja Fest this past weekend. Lots of fun things happened, meet and greets and wrestling matches and all kinds of stuff. And we had the Boss Lady and Professor out there hanging out and doing some business with Mark Henry. And it was really cool to see. But here's a message from our sponsors, and we'll get into the final for preview for Raw.
Have you heard the news? It's pretty big. I heard from my friend who heard from her friend all the way from the Caribbean. Well, when I heard from my friend, I became super excited. And I think you guys will like it too. WWT now has an official partner, and it's All Caribbean Wrestling, the premier promotion across the Caribbean. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views, or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1. Now, you make sure you go and check them out and tell them WWT sent you. You hear me?
Shout outs to All Caribbean Wrestling, and shout outs to you guys for always supporting us and always hanging with us in the comments. There's so much energy in here, and you know what? Let's continue. Let's throw one more commercial in there. Let's go cop some merch for the crew.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do, like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like, literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to wwtalkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
You heard what she said. Go to wwtalkpod.com and go cop that merch. Support the crew. Support the team. Be one of us. You could, have that drip. But we are at the end, towards the end of our WWT Live weekly or weekend recap here tonight, and we have I'm exhausted, man. It's so much. It's just way too much that happened, and so much that we have to talk about that I wish we could have still, that we had a lot more topics that we needed to talk about, but Councilman and I were running super duper late, and we just had to get things fixed up at the last minute. Just wanted to make sure everything was still flowing. We don't want Women's Wrestling Talk burning down to the ground while Boss Lady's away, because we want to make sure that she comes back to a nice clean household. For sure. And speaking of clean households, we got Monday Night Raw tonight, and I can't say that there will be a clean house in the house of Mysterio. There's a civil war brewing between the two houses, the house of Rey Mysterio and the house of Dominic Mysterio, and they're going to be going on one-on-one tonight. Quick prediction for you, Councilman: who wins, and how do you think it happens?
Rey's taking the L. Interference from Liv. And no, I don't think interference from Liv, but I think Dominic is going to win, because I don't think Dominic has beaten Rey in a match yet. Correct?
No, he has not. And I was just going to say, I'm with you on the Liv interference, but I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I think after him interfering with the interaction from last week, and she was saying, "Oh my God, you saved me from your deadbeat dad" type thing. I think Dom is going to win because Liv is going to return the favor, because that's her daddy, apparently.
Wait, did I say Dom was going to win, right?
I thought you said Rey in the beginning. And then you
no, I said no. I was saying Dom. I said I think Dom's gonna take it and Liv was gonna help.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we on the same boat.
Yeah,
We on the
yeah.
same boat. I was gonna say we tag team champs. How we not on the same boat? We gotta
Oh
be
no.
on
That was where I was at. No. That's
yeah.
because that's why I was saying Ray, like he's never beat Ray. It's time for him to be able to beat Ray in the match,
Yes.
and then Liv being the catalyst to helping that, just like how she did with Finn and JD. Yeah,
Exactly.
now it's just strengthening that.
Exactly. If she gets gold on Dom, I'm gonna lose my shit. Just saying. Cross, we have a one-on-one match between Karrion Kross and Xavier Woods, and we know that there's been some really interesting interactions between the two of them the last couple of weeks, including Kofi Kingston. There's something brewing and something being insinuated here by Karrion Kross, saying that Xavier Woods has been in the shadow of Kofi Kingston and he's always second best and this and that. Councilman, what do we think?
You could just you play my favorite Roman Reigns clip you use for me when it comes to this.
Oh Lord.
If you don't mind.
Wait, is it this one? Is it this one?
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it.
Dude, no way.
This just has not caught my attention whatsoever.
Cross?
I like Cross. It's just I don't like the target. I just
okay. You don't want the New Day to break up.
I don't care.
Oh.
Like that's even like I don't care. They kind of one of those. It's just like y'all here. Like if they break up, it's just like okay.
That's crazy for you. That's crazy, I think, to say, because if they break up, I'm gonna be shocked. Like I think that's something that the world never thought that they. I'm just thinking that that's something that the world would never want to see, because that, you know, they're pretty much the inseparable team. You know, the New Day. They're like the Destiny's Child. You know, they stick together all the time. But okay,
wait, what you mean? What you mean?
Man,
you know how many versions of Destiny's Child there were?
Listen, I'm talking about Destiny's Child, the beginning Destiny's Child. Like their early years were the beginning Destiny's Child, and they haven't really separated. They're in their solo phases. They're in their solo phases now. That's what they're doing.
We went from 4 Destiny's Children to getting replaced with 2 more. Then they got rid of them, and it was just 3. Then now it's just Beyonce. Kelly Rowland be doing something. I don't know where the hell Michelle is at. Michelle just went to church and just never came back.
Councilman. I'm
accusations.
These are not accusations. This is
false accusations.
And
leave Destiny's Child alone.
There are some members of Destiny's Child. What happened to y'all? I don't know where they went.
Oh man, well, all right, well, fine. I guess that was a bad comparison. The crew's gonna see this and they're gonna die laughing. Then we have 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers. We have the men's Money in the Bank, which would be Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Ilya Dragunov, and I can already feel the pain in this match. I can already see the oversells. I can already see the welts and the bruises and the chops, and it's gonna be absolutely disgusting. But if I had to pick, I am going with the Mad Dragon. What about you, Councilman?
You going with the Mad Dragon?
I'm going with the Mad Dragon because Drew got a lot on his plate. He beat up CM Punk. CM Punk is gonna have something to do with ruining his chances. Sheamus, I don't know.
I don't see Sheamus. I don't see Sheamus.
I don't see Sheamus. I just don't like Sheamus has been there, done that with Money in the Bank.
Intercontinental run. I know that's where he's at right now.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I definitely see the Mad Dragon going forward.
Ooh. You know what? Just because you said that, I was thinking CM Punk might not come back too quickly just because of what happened. Mm-hmm. But that was previous Friday. That wasn't this last Friday. So no, yeah, you're right. No, I think we can see that happening. And I think
it's the last Monday before Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Something's gotta get crazy. But I definitely see Ilya Dragunov winning because Gunther's already in there.
Yeah.
And I need that.
I'm going with Ilya then, because I can see CM Punk coming back and costing Drew to not have a match at Money in the Bank, that pissing him off, and then them making the match for SummerSlam. So you're right.
Either that or something happens between Drew and Sheamus. That's what I think. Like not something happens between Drew and Sheamus like going forward. I just mean in here in this match that cost them both the opportunity to win.
I could see Braun Breaker coming in and messing up Sheamus's part.
Exactly.
I can see that. Go. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Ilya too. I think Ilya, especially with Lyra being put in the women's, I can see. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ilya getting put in as well.
They're really highlighting those two on the low. Lyra and Ilya.
I mean, they good. They should.
The right place too. Yeah. Then the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match will have Zoe Stark versus Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile, and I'm going with Team Kick on this one. I think Dakota Kai is going to triumph.
Team Kick. I want Dakota to win so bad.
Me too. I think she would be only because I feel like Zoe and Ivy. I don't feel like they're ready yet.
No,
Zoe's been teaming with Shayna. Dakota, I want to see her in this ladder match. It's gonna be good with her in this ladder match.
Ivy's been tag teaming a little too much with Maxine, so we haven't really got a chance to see her strut her stuff as much. Haven't had a real like highlighted singles match, and I think maybe 8 months or so, and then the last one was really on NXT.
Okay.
Same thing for Zoe. Like you're in a tag team, so I don't see it necessarily you winning and then that coming out of a storyline. So it's really Dakota. It's Dakota's time to be spotlighted.
Absolutely.
And, so I'm rocking.
And give me that heel Dakota that I miss. When she betrayed Raquel, or when she betrayed freaking why am I losing it? Shiny Wizard.
Tegan Knox.
There you go. Tegan Knox. There you go. Thank you, Councilman. This is why we're right here. This is why we're tag team champs. And then we have probably one of my favorite moments of the night that's going to happen. We got my girl, the homie Zelina Vega, challenging Liv Morgan for the women's world champion. And if y'all have been living under a rock, you know damn well who I'm going for. I don't care what storyline says. I don't care what the situation Liv Morgan is in. When Zelina Vega is involved, it's always justice for Zelina Vega. So La Muñeca, I'm going for my girl. I know what you're gonna say, but I'm going because I can't. That's the homie. I can't do that to my homie.
I am going to dismiss my logic, and I'm going to go off as the fans. I would love to see the greatest upset of the year, and Zelina wins the women's world championship and slapping the taste out of Liv Morgan's mouth with a chancla.
With a chancla right in the face.
Wow! But I know this is going to be a good match. Like that is my choice, and whoever wins, I'll put it to you like that. Whoever wins, I believe that no matter what happens, this is going to raise Zelina's stock, and I hope Triple H and Creative does it right. Put that girl back on the microphone moving forward and put her in the forefront of the women's division. Please keep her there after this match.
Especially if you're going to put a mic back in her hand. Justice for Zelina Vega.
Please put her back as one of the top 5 women on Raw and continue to let her be on there because she is going to need it. And we need it. We deserve it.
We need it. The Latinos, we just need it. We need it, and we want it because we want what was rightfully ours. Okay, we needed to see our girl get throned and crowned in her home in Puerto Rico, and it didn't happen. But how crazy would it be that even though she's not on SmackDown and they were just at MSG, she wins in Boston as a New Yorker? How funny would that be?
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious.
Cindy
says, shout out to Asuka. Fantastic to see that she had successful knee surgery. Can't wait to have her back. Shout outs to Asuka. Yes, get well, recover, and take your time, sister. Cindy says, I want to hear Kai's music twice tonight.
I'm with you on that.
I like that. I straight up think Dom's going to mess it up for Liv. Queen Zelina Vega all the way, says Eric. Matt says Zelina with the upset. Let's go. A lot of people going in for La Muñeca tonight, and we love to see it. Now, the real question, and I saw somebody pose this earlier, are we getting some Wyatt 6 action? It was Matt who said it. Do you guys think we will see the Wyatt 6 tonight? It's Monday. We got a tape last week. We might get another one this week. I'll be happy with another tape, and how we uncover the truth of the redemption of the Wyatt Six and where they're going from here, and you know how they became what they've become. You know, considering that we saw Bo Dallas talking to Uncle Howdy last week, will that be the same when it comes to the other members? Will they be talking to Uncle Howdy, or will they be talking with their personas? We had a nice little discussion about this last week on what we think could happen, and we could count all kinds of ways. But I just know we are definitely going to see some Wyatt Six tonight.
I think we get another video. Talking to them. I think it will be Howdy talking to the regular ones, like a Dexter Loomis, like Nikki. I think they'll talk to them first, and then why they get chosen to be the avatars that they are. And for Joseph Boza, as much as I know you want to see it, I don't think it's right just yet for them to start wrestling, because if you think about it, if they keep doing these vignettes that they're doing, we still have 4 other people that gotta go. That's 4 weeks, which means that gives us enough time to get ready to move into SummerSlam and for them to pick their target. If you let them start now, it starts to get a little wonky of them just being
and it's
around.
going to get stale really quickly. But I'm saying, with that being said, don't be surprised, and I'm saying this now, and we're in July, the beginning of July. Don't be surprised if we don't see the Wyatt Six wrestle until Survivor Series, when it becomes War Games. And we're waiting for this Bloodline Civil War to go down. And then they got bigger problems with the Wyatt Six. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And I still think it's against the Bloodline. Ooh. I don't know. But I think I the only reason why I said it is because I think if they're sticking with Raw, let's just say off the thing that they're sticking with Raw, you would need them to go against the Judgment Day. And I think you leave the opportunity of having 2 outstanding War Game matches. Well, actually, if they really wanted to go at it, you could do 3 of them. You could do Bloodline Civil War, Judgment Day versus Wyatt's, and then the best of the best. I would love to see them bring that back just for War Games, Raw versus SmackDown for the women.
Oh, okay.
And to see who's the better division between the 2. And then in that War Games, you got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and I would even say Bayley. Heading that one up. And then for and how many people are in it? Each side? 4 or 5? I
would say 4.
It's 4, right?
Oh no, 5 on each side. 5.
Okay, and then I would even throw in just as a heel, either Tiffy Time or Queen Nia to round out them. And then for Raw, I would go Lyra Valkyria, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and I'm trying to think who else is on there.
You got Zoe Stark. You have Dakota Kai. You got
Dakota Kai, and then probably Io,
Liv or Io, or
because Liv, I think Liv will be fighting. We'll put a title on the line in Survivor Series.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If she still has it by then.
If she still has it by there.
Just saying, because La Muñeca can make that change real quick. But that we'll have to see. Monday Night Raw is going to be starting in 10 minutos, and we cannot wait. Special little nobodies, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Cindio says, gotta have damage control, need EO in a War Games match. Always games match, but I mean, we could sit here till we're blue in the face, but
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
Every time you say that, it make me do this. I'm gonna fight all these urges, brother.
I'm gonna fight
all these urges.
I'm gonna fight the urge to go on a tangent, because we have gone way over time. But that is all we have for today for our WWT Live. We are so sorry again for the tardiness and for the lack of professionalism with the slides and stuff like that. But you know what? We just had to keep it going, and we didn't want to keep you guys waiting. And we appreciate having all of you here. Before we say goodbye, Councilman, where can the great people of the universe find you?
You can find me at F them slides. Y'all know, when the greatest tag team and digital entertainment is here. Why would you want our faces small? That'd be my question to ask. Like, why you want us over here at the edge in the big picture? Like the tag team champs of social media are up here. So you wanted to see these faces. I know y'all did. I know there's like, I don't need no picture. Look at them. Come on. Look at these mugs. Come on, man. We are cute, deadly air. We dropped the hammer on these people.
Drop them.
That's bows. It, because Raw finna start, so I'm done. Because Raw is about to start.
Yes. And don't forget to check out Councilman competing for that big back championship. He doesn't know who he's facing, but just go see him. Just go see him.
I put them paws.
The tickets are cheap. They're flying out like crazy. Yep. So go check it out.
I hope you saw it Saturday, because I put the paws on Newport Johnson this last Saturday. That's another reason why I'm tired, boy. I lit him up like a cigarette and asked him out that night.
Newport Johnson, I am so done with you. I cannot deal. Anyway, you guys can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew. Professor and TK are on their way back from Bahamas and Baja Fest, so safe travels back to the crew. Said Mayor is probably working in Vice City. Extra time for the constituents, being that there's assault charges coming at them real soon from Councilman PHAROAH in Strattonville and Greenville. But that's neither here nor there. That got nothing to do with me. I'm just an innocent bystander. I'm Queen of the Honey Pot Predictions and one half of the Digital Entertainment Tag Team Champions. I'm here for WWT. So you can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the crew. Don't forget to check me out for our Friday night, Honey Night SmackDown watch along every week. We also have, let's see what else we got going on. The NXT post show coming Wednesday morning. We also have the Honey Pot Predictions are back. Finally, check them out on the socials. I got my predictions up for this evening. Check them out really quick. Wrestling with Honey TikTok, Wrestling with Honey Instagram, Facebook Wrestling W Honey, and like and subscribe that YouTube. That's going to be up and running soon. I know I keep saying it, but you know what? I'm learning a lot, and it's a lot of tedious work that your girl got to do. Okay, so I just want to make sure everything's perfect for y'all. That's all I care. That's all I care about, because I love making the viewers happy. Shout outs to everybody in the chat. Matt Spano cracking up, Cindy always supporting the face cards, Eric Isaac, appreciate you, special little nobodies. Let's see, Boza, Dylan, Eric Isaac, let me see somebody else, cousin Ron, let me see Eddie James, Bobby, great to see you as always. A pleasure having all of you with us. We appreciate all of your energy and all of the all of the fun stuff you guys bring to our chat room. And we will see you guys on Wednesday for our Wednesday show of WWT Live. And don't forget to check out all things wwtalkpod.com for all of our merch and cool stuff. And shout outs to our sponsors at All Caribbean Wrestling for a successful event in the Bahamas. So glad it went very well. Make sure you guys go check out them all on all the socials and support. And Go hit up the real TK. Go check out how the boss lady's doing. And if you really want to make her smile, just make sure you send her some Trick Williams pictures while you're at it. We appreciate everybody up in here. Councilman, always a pleasure having you guys. Don't forget, we are Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. This is the Councilman and Wrestling with Honey signing off. See you on Wednesday, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.